You've heard of the law of attraction. Now, have you heard of the Pygmalion Effect? In this video, we'll see science's take on the law of attraction. First of all, when we talk about the law of attraction, the majority of people seem to be divided into these two groups. One group either just absolutely loves it and believes in it as if it's something of another world, not complying to the laws of physics, the laws of the universe, but it's something else that they have to believe in. And the other group absolutely dismisses it, laughs at the idea, and just again thinks that it's not of this world and therefore it doesn't exist. Now, if you actually see more closely, both of these approaches actually have a very common element in between. They both consider it as if it's an otherworldly thing, a thing that doesn't belong here, that you either believe or you don't believe in. So in plain words, it is not part of the universe. It is either make-believe, which one portion of the people believes in, or not. And of course, it's the sign of the same coin, and neither of them are actually founded in reality. Now, let's see now what science has seen in terms of expectations, in terms of beliefs, in terms of opinions and thoughts, and what's actually generated and created on the other end. So in the 1960s, there was an experiment and a research done by Rosenthal, the Rosenthal experiment, and the results that it gave are now called the Rosenthal Effect or the Pygmalion Effect. What the Pygmalion Effect showed is that expectations altered the performance, and specifically high expectations drove high performance and high results, of course. What the Rosenthal experiment specifically involved were two groups of people that were told to coach rats through a maze. Now, the conductors of the experiment told the one group of people, the coaches of the rats, that the rats were super smart and capable. The other group of people were told exactly the opposite, that the rats were dumb and essentially not having high expectations on them. And of course, the rats were exactly the same. There was no difference in the rats of Group A and Group B. And as you may have already started guessing, the team of coaches that were told that rats were intelligent actually showed high performance and so much better results than the team that were told that their rats were dumb and incapable. This is actually suggesting not only the performance of the coach and their belief was influenced by the first belief and input that they were given, but also that affected what they did with it. In this specific experiment, the rats' performance. Now, this exact same thing is actually happening, of course, to people, to all of us. In plain words, what the Pygmalion Effect is describing is that our beliefs about ourselves influence our actions towards others, which in turn impact others' beliefs about us, and that in turn causes others' actions towards us, which reinforces our beliefs about ourselves. And this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is a cycle that goes on and on and on. And in case you're wondering, it was actually called the Pygmalion Effect because in ancient Greece, Pygmalion was a sculptor that fell so much in love with his statue. He was so convinced that it was so perfect, so lifelike, it was actually human and not statue, that the statue ended up turning into life. And that is exactly why our beliefs, when remain unchallenged, end up making us and the world around us, which of course has been described more deeply with all the biases that psychology has discovered through the years that human beings have. Now, there were four main factors in the Pygmalion Effect: feedback, climate, input, and output. So in essence, this is exactly the same to what the law of attraction is actually describing. So the Pygmalion Effect is easier understood when it comes to our relationship with others. But all that life is a relationship with ourselves, a relationship with others, with family, even with intangible things such as specific ideas or notions, relationships with objects or material things, with money, with careers, both tangible and intangible things, animate and inanimate things. And the very first relationship that defines any other is the relationship with self. That is exactly what the law of attraction, or you may have heard it as a law of resonance, is actually stating. What you believe and what you expect that's going to happen is actually influence how you're going to show up in the situation, essentially what you're going to embody. And of course, what you give out is going to reverberate back at you. Now, that is not an otherworldly thing. That is not some sort of magic or some sort of effect that defies the natural laws. It is actually in perfect accordance with every law of the universe. Like attracts like. Even in the very plain example of Earth, a very big mass is actually attracting more of mass towards it. That is what happens, for example, when we hold an object and we let it drop. The more attracts more of the like. This is also one of the rules of the mind as it's described by RTT, Marissa Peer's method of rapid transformational therapy. And it says that first you make your beliefs and then your beliefs make you. What that means is that when you're at a very young age, when your critical capability is very low, you absorb things and they get ingrained and imprinted as beliefs that if they remain unchallenged in your adult life and you're completely oblivious to them, because some of them are so deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind that we can't even see them anymore. They're going to rule our lives. They're going to be the ones that are going to have the wheel, not ourselves. And of course, there's always a solution. And this is the symptom. When you don't feel fulfilled, when you don't feel glad, when you don't feel joyful, when you don't love the life that you lead, that is a symptom. Something is not going the way you want it, not somebody else, you. And so that is when you start looking, and that's when you start understanding that your essentially architecture, your software that you should be using to achieve happiness in your terms, fulfillment in your terms, abundance in your terms, satisfaction in your terms, life in your terms. So by gradually shifting towards what you actually want to have, living it right here, right now, even if it is intangible at first, imagining how that is going to feel like and feeling like that, imprinting what it means and it feels like to be joyful for you, what it means to be free, what it means to be calm, what it means to be absolutely fulfilled. And again, all of this is in your terms. And that, in accordance to the Pygmalion Effect, the law of attraction, the law of resonance, every law in the universe, is going to give you more of that. Because by repeating that, by making this your predominant pattern, you're going to mature in such a way that you are going to embody a wealthy, free, healthy, vibrant, abundant human being. So everyone and everything that matches that is going to enter your world. And even if it isn't, that's the magic of it. The magic of non-magic is that when you're going to mature into such kind of a state, and something else that doesn't appeal, that doesn't match you, comes to you, you're not going to let it in your life. Just because you're past that. You matured, you're more inclusive, you're bigger, and you know what you want, you know what pleases you. And that doesn't mean that you don't reject it. It means that you know what complements you, because you have absolutely accepted you and your desires, and you have stepped into creating them. And this is an ultimately smart way to work, because if you understand that everything is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you're the one that makes the prophecy, you're the one that makes the fulfillment of it, well, that means that actually everything is in your control. So you literally can be the creator of your own life. You get to control your own life. You get to decide. You get to imagine. You get to try on whatever reality you want, see if it fits you, visualize it as holistically as you can, or as I like to say, sensualize it. Really include all of the senses. Sensualize what it is that actually suits you and complements you and fulfills you at this moment. And when you gain clarity, when you gain this essentially information of your internal landscape, you get to match it by creating the external one. And this is something that only you can. So if it is that you want to use the word manifesting or creating or generating, it's one and the same. It is all about what you believe, what you decide, how you show up, and what you embody. And every one of these things is going to feed into itself. And that is why your thoughts, your feelings, your state should be congruent with what it is that you want to create more of. And no, that does not mean exactly fake it as you make it, because if you fake it, you don't feel it. And when you don't feel it, then you don't really let it in, you don't really sensualize it. And for this, please click the video above to actually see the difference between fake it till you make it and what actually works. And also you can find the video links below in the description. So happy creating. You're the only one that can do it. I wish you absolute magic that is absolutely real as you, and have fun. I love you, and I will see you next time. So this is it for me for now. I hope you liked this video. If you did, press the like button below to let me know, and also press subscribe and the notification bell if that appeals to you. And thank you so much for making self-love, self-worth, and growth an integrally human and a fun thing to do. So thank you so much. This is Ellie Pearl. I'll see you soon.